Okay, so let's talk about it. We have Matt Gaetz, who Trump tried to nominate as the Attorney General. The other issue with Matt Gaetz is the fact that Matt Gaetz is already being investigated because for child sex trafficking. He was messing with a 17-year-old, and ultimately, as I've come to find out, he did it more than once, because they have a breaking report from CNN today where she was talking about the fact that he had done it twice. In 2017, he had some kind of drug sex party, and the second time that he encountered this 17-year-old, the 17-year-old testified that there was another grown woman with him. Keep this in mind. I'm gonna back up a little bit. Understand that Matt Gaetz had a friend with him. His friend is already in jail for this same issue. So doesn't that seem crazy that once again we got another rich, powerful white man who everyone around him goes to jail, but he somehow is innocent and everybody accepts it as such? That shit is the craziest. Like the mental gymnastics and mind tricks that these people play on themselves, because they're not playing it on me. They play it on themselves. This is a generational thing, you know what I'm saying? They did this shit since slavery. They've been convincing themselves that what they're doing is right, despite the same Bible that they read and that they go to church for every Sunday, telling them that what they're doing is wrong, telling them that you're supposed to love your neighbor like you love yourself. So what do? So that they're not having to love their neighbor, is they change their neighbor to not being a full human being, only 3/5 of a human being. There's always a game and always a goalpost move. But as I was doing more research about it, talking about the 3/5 of a human being thing, there are so many articles that I found where they're talking about that whole situation, and what they're saying is they were only 3/5 of a human being when talking about voting. So they were 3/5 of a white person if they were not free. So they're saying they weren't just talking about black people. They really watered it down with regards to who they were talking about or who they weren't talking about, since it wasn't specifically saying black people. But then that brings another issue, which brings even more accountability and judgment on them because of their behavior. Because now, knowing that that's the way that they want to rewrite history, or say that that's what that's the accuracy of the 3/5 clause compromise, then that means that you had absolutely no right to be treating another human being the way that you did, especially as Christians. Why would it take you 400 years to figure out that this is the wrong path and that God wouldn't have us to treat other people this way? Because clearly it's another human being. So let's go back. So we're talking about Matt Gaetz, and the fact that the bottom line is this guy is a sex trafficker of underage girls. He's been under investigation. It's been already said by his other Republican friends that he sits here and he will ultimately, he was showing these explicit pictures of these females on the House floor. Like, he's been very disrespectful about it. There are many Republicans that have already said that this is who he is, this is who he has been. But at the same time, he has the nerve to bring Christ's name out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And all of you that support these people, we clearly don't have the same God. So now that Trump nominated him to be the Attorney General, people are like, no, we about to put the investigation information out there. Fast forward, then you also have Marjorie Taylor Greene, who decided to step out. Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out and she says, and this ain't got none of this is in-house fighting, y'all. This is to the Republicans. Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out and she says, look, let me let y'all know something. If y'all end up releasing the information on my boy Matt Gaetz, I'm going to release all the sexual harassment claims on everybody in the Republican Party. So go ahead and play with me. Test me. See if I don't do it. Why did they do a vote yesterday and decide, nah, we're not gonna put Gaetz' information out there. We're gonna hold off. The Republicans in I can't think of the name of the committee. We're like, nah, we're gonna keep it under wraps. We're not gonna put it out just yet, right? We're gonna hold off, right? What a coincidence. So all of this up to this point leads me to the place where I say, these are the people that the Christians nominated to run our government and to ultimately represent Christianity in America and around the world. Churches told people that this is who you should vote for. They told their congregations, this is who you should vote for, because these are the people that are going to represent Christ and represent what we stand for. But then you find out from the guy in Oklahoma that They're buying, it's a ton of Bibles. They're Trump Bibles. So they're buying Trump Bibles. They're not just buying, the Bibles that Trump is selling are $60 a pop. You could buy simple Bibles for half that price. It's all clout chasing, and they're using God's name to do it. Trump put this man in, a man being investigated for being a sex trafficker. And then I hadn't even got on Hegseth yet, Pete Hegseth, and the fact that he sexually assaulted someone. That story is horrible. He sexually abused a lady while she was there with her children and her husband. You know what I'm saying? You need to look that story up. But anyway, again, another appointee, Secretary of Defense. You got literal evil ass people that you have voted for. You have said, I want you, evil man, evil administration, evil group of people, I want you to rule over me and to take care of our country, because that's what God would have. We're talking about Trump. We're talking about the fact that Marjorie Taylor Greene tried to stick up for Matt Gaetz, his evil, tried to threaten the rest of the evil Republican Party by telling them she will oust all of them and put all their business in the streets if they put Matt Gaetz' business in the streets. And this is the game that they're playing. And you idiots voted for them. They're over here yelling and arguing with each other about telling the truth about each other because they're all trash. And y'all voted for this, saying that this is Christ. Over the last 8 years, compare the scandals and the crimes that have taken place overall over the last 8 years. Over the administration differences, the people that have been arrested, literally arrested and put in jail in the Democratic Party versus the Republican Party due to breaking the law. Think, who's really the devil? Who are really the evil people out here? And of course you got the deniers, you got the delusional people that will sit there and try to say, you know, that they're just making it up and they're just putting people in jail for no reason. I don't have time for the stupidity of those people. I really don't.